Hey all, wanted to post up a quick little video for the new monthly card for November. Uh, as you can see, here it is, Frenzied Alit. 1/3 for 1. Whenever it takes damage, it gains +1/+0. It's a pretty good card, in my opinion. One of the big things that I've kind of noticed as I've played this game more and more, um, in general, most 1-drops are pretty terrible. But this one's a little different, mostly because it is a 1/3. By being a 1/3, it allows it to contest all of the 2/2 2-drops that are played in the game, and do so very effectively. Not only that, but when it takes damage, then it becomes... when it takes damage to one of the two twos, or even a 2/3, it itself then becomes a 2/3, and it is able to trade with all of those 2/2s and 2/3s. So this is a really good card. Let me go into the collection and we can kind of explain why this is a good card. So what this card is probably most... where this card is going to get the most use is probably in the aggro warrior... well, not really the aggro warrior, but the control warrior that's been going around, that's been using a lot of the good old flame sword. Go pull up Flame Sword here. Sword of the Inferno. So you can tap Sword of the Inferno on this on turn 2, and you can swing for 4 damage and knock out a 2/2. That's a pretty efficient play if you're playing an aggressive deck. It's pretty good play. I don't know what else to say. This is something that people are probably going to do in an aggro deck, is drop this turn 1 and then on turn 2 play Sword of the Inferno and kill something like a Goblin Skulk. Where I think this card is important to kind of circle around on is just how effective it is against a lot of the cards currently played in the early game, and even like pretty much all of the 2-drops and even some 3-drops. So one card I kind of thought of that I was like, wow, this card actually almost trades, I say almost trades, evenly with, is Daggerfall Mage. So you play this against a Daggerfall Mage hits it, loses its ward, and a Frenzied Alit becomes a 2/1. And can trade with Daggerfall Mage, provided they don't play the tome on top of it, which Daggerfall Mage still gets value out of. But the difference between that being an inefficient play and an efficient play is the fact that Frenzied Alit is a 1-drop that you played on turn 1, while Daggerfall Mage is generally... when Daggerfall Mage is not played, it's not played because it's a 3-drop that doesn't add enough to the board for your deck. So, kind of going back to summarize, this was a good card. 1/3s are pretty good in general, especially in the early game, because they can test all the 2-drops, and they can contest even some 3-drops. Most comparably, probably Ghostgate Guardian, which is a card we've kind of started to see a little bit of. But this kind of one-ups it because it has far more combos in the game. It's playable on a lot more turns. You can essentially play this on turn 4 and then play Skaven Pyromancer, and you've got out 4 power on that turn and did 1 damage across the board. So, do I think this card is good? Yes, I do. But the only issue with this card is that it depends on... it's difficult to put it into a deck. Your deck is probably going to try to do very specific things, contest in the early game, combo synergies with Sword of the Inferno and other self-harm decks. But yeah, try it out. Card's good, I think. Have fun.